Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here. Today I'm actually inside my house. It's the evening, it's cold and just pouring rain outside, but I'm getting kind of that itch and that urge to take some images here. And so a couple days prior I found a few of these milkweed like seed pods. So you can see the little seed pods in there, and they're just kind of feathery and wispy. But the actual casing of this milkweed is pretty dry and brittle, given that it's winter of course right now. And they're pretty decayed. But I'm going to take some images here, probably from like a top-down perspective, just kind of arranging them as I see fit with the compositions here, here on a table. And I'm going to be using something like a ring light right here, and kind of adjusting the artificial and indoor light and the interior lighting to see what kind of images I can come up with here. And then as for the camera gear, I'm going to be using a 75-300 f4 to 5.6. This is widely considered to be Canon's worst lens actually ever made because of just the overall sharpness and image quality of it, given that it is a medium range telephoto zoom lens, but mainly just that variable aperture of the 4 to 5.6 is pretty tough on image quality, and introduces a lot of chromatic aberration as a result. So you're probably wondering, why did I buy it and why am I using it for this little project here? It was dirt cheap. Like, you can buy this lens for about under $100 if you look online. So I bought it used on there, and then I believe, at least coupled with an extension tube like this 25mm one I have on here, it becomes a pretty decent budget kind of macro photography setup. And I've had good success in the past with a similar setup to this, and so I'm going to try this here today, or tonight rather, and then I'm going to see how the images look and everything. So this should be a fun little experiment, I think, doing something a little bit different, but still kind of that kind of nature photography adjacent theme, I guess, with it. And so, but before we get started here, I got to set up a few things here on the table, and then we'll get started taking some images here. Alright, so I've basically been doing this for the past couple hours, I'm not even joking, and just meticulously arranging everything like I said I was. And I even opted to use a pair of tweezers just to, just get every little bit of detail on the seeds and all the feathery details just arranged properly. And then also just not trying to breathe through my nose, honestly, because every time I just kind of do that and exhale. It'd blow everything around. And then not only that, but a few more pain points a little bit was just using this white sheet, of course. I could have maybe used a different color or something, or I could try maybe like a black sheet or something, so I had a darker background. But using this white one, I had to use a ball blower to actually like blow off little bits of like dust, or like the hairs of my eyebrows even, or just the littlest bit of details and stuff. And then same with like these dried up little seeds and stuff. I've been noticing that they're very tough to manipulate, and if you don't really like, there's no right or wrong way, but if you don't do it like what I would call a correct way, it just makes the whole composition look kind of messy, like you just kind of threw a bunch of seeds around. And maybe part of it is that I kind of want it to look kind of wild, but it is a very much more controlled setting here indoors, and trying to make it look kind of, I guess, to a more creative kind of vision, I guess, overall, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's been pretty interesting though. I actually changed out lenses and didn't even do a macro magnified setup. And so I basically did a 50 millimeter prime lens, and just basically did that, sometimes with auto, sometimes with manual focus, and just doing a top-down perspective like this. Got the ring light here. I even took off the fusing parts that go over these little lights and everything. And yeah, just kind of tilting this around, more or less keeping it at the fullest brightness intensity. You can see it's, there you go. So yeah, basically just doing that, and clamping down this white sheet, of course, so that way it wouldn't kind of move around and sway too much with any movement. And then yeah, basically just doing that. Even at one point, or I have been like recently, I've been also using a reflector, and it's one of those things that, like, one of those tools that like I don't really use too often, but like when I do need it or would like to use it for like something like this, I'm really glad to have it. So it's a pretty nice find, I guess, in my my spare stuff of photography equipment and stuff that doesn't really get used too much often in all the miscellaneous gear and stuff. And so I actually managed to just kind of put it in between this like fastball tripod head and the clamps at the bottom here. It's not a very big reflector, but it does have two different sides to it, and basically just had it set up there. And I found that the brightness, bouncing off and reflecting off of this reflector, of course, it really helped eliminate the shadows that are being cast underneath this. Because given my current setup, I could maybe possibly do like the camera straight through the ring light. But right now, as you can kind of see here, the ring light's at an angle, while the camera itself is top down, like a perfect, straight down view. And so, it's going to introduce a little bit of shadows, but I was more concerned with like depth of field and stuff, in regards to like shooting the camera if it was at an angle, and I feel like that kind of messed with it a lot more. But other than that, I mean, I was using settings such as like f5.6 about, kind of going for 1/10 of a second up to even 1/50th of a second, doing a 2-second timer. So that way it would just, minimize all the camera shake and stuff for me pressing the shutter button. You could also, of course, in this case, use like a remote shutter, a wired or wireless option, of course. But yeah, I did that. And then using ISO, I think I was basically at 100. I mean, with the brightness of this and everything, I didn't really need too much light, plus with being on a tripod and stabilized like this. So yeah, this was really, really cool to do. It's really so different. It's so different, but it's fun to experiment and stuff like this, and see what I can come up with, and just do something that's a little more in a controlled environment, because let's be honest, nature is not always the most cooperative. Birds fly away, sunsets kind of fizzle out too quickly, and just things can go wrong or differently than you expect. And so it's pretty cool to do something like this where I can really just kind of tinker with all the different parts of it and compose the images how I really want to, I guess. And so Yeah, I think with that being said, I'm just going to share some, of course, some images I took from this session here right after this video ends. And I just want to say thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.